everyone, I am Kristen Durrell and I am your host for today's Littlescribe Author Masterclass, and I am delighted to introduce our very special guest for this session. Now normally he would be in a different role in our workshops, but today the amazing and wonderful James Foley is in the hot seat. James makes loads of books for children who read, and apparently if you're eating his books, then you're doing it wrong. Now he has picture books, middle grade novels and graphic novels. You might know some of them. There's Happy Barry Capybara, which I'm tripping and stumbling over. Secret Agent Mole, which is a good big favourite of mine. Bigfoot versus Yeti, a love story. And of course, his mega award winning Stellafant. Welcome, James. James.
Yeah.
James, the workshop started. What are you doing?
What?
Yeah.
I was just drawing.
Paying attention?
Sorry, I was just drawing.
Okay,
hi.
we've started.
Sorry, no, look, I've started as well, actually. So I've been drawing some shapes. And the reason I'm drawing these shapes is because these shapes are really useful for designing characters, Chris.
Ooh.
When we're designing characters for books or for animation or TV or anything like that, we're using these three categories of shape: triangles, squares, and circles.
Yeah.
They're kind of rough categories. So if you look at this, there's sort of all sorts of shapes that can be triangular. There's all sorts of shapes that I would say are kind of blocky shapes like squares. And there's all sorts of curvy shapes as well. Egg shape, oval shape, just a weird amoeba, all those sorts of things. And then there's a few shapes that are kind of even combinations of shapes. So you can have some shapes that are kind of a little bit like a square, a little bit like a circle, and you get like these sort of rounded rectangular sort of shapes. Or you might get these kind of pointy, blocky looking shapes. Why am I showing you all this?
I don't know. Why are you showing us all this, James?
When we're designing characters, these different shapes can be used to make different types of characters. But these categories of shape have different feelings about them. Some of these shapes feel a bit more friendly than others. Some of them feel more scary and grumpy than others. Some of them feel more trustworthy and solid and stable than others. So if you're having a look at this, everybody, I'm going to ask you some quiz questions. I'd like you to write into the chat, which one of these three categories do you think is the friendliest? Write down triangle or square or circle. Which one is the friendliest to you?
So teachers, you can write that into the chat for us and we'll have a look and see. Wonder what everyone thinks. I wonder what the survey poll is going to show. I know what I think is the friendliest, but I'm not going to say it. No.
I know which one I think is friendliest too.
Yeah, I wonder.
But we'll find out,
Have we got anyone?
Okay.
Yeah,
so far 3 votes are in from Casino West. Actually, no, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we've got 3. Oh my goodness. We've had 3 votes, 4 votes for circles.
Okay.
6 votes for circles, sorry.
6.
A couple for squares, a couple for triangles, but mostly circles coming through as the friendliest. There's always a bit of a smattering, but mostly it tends to go towards circles for that.
Yeah, I think I would have voted circle. You can add my vote to circle as well.
All right, no worries. Chris votes for this.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Now, which one of these 3 categories do you think is the nastiest?
Ooh.
Which one's the nasty category for you? Is it triangle, square, or circle? What do you think?
I wonder. Well, some people think circle's happy, so maybe it's not the circle. Well, it could be, I suppose, for some people.
The answers are coming through hot and
reckon?
fast. It's basically all triangles. It's all triangles.
I have
Everyone's
to agree
saying
with
triangles. Someone said egg in all capitals. They said egg was the nastiest one. Egg! I suppose if it is rotten, then it's going to be nasty. But most people are all saying triangles.
Yeah.
So, yeah, totally.
I think that's right.
That leaves squares, and some of the things that people might say about square, they see it as more sort of stable, solid, heavy. It's sort of heavy, blocking looking shapes.
Yeah.
So often you might find that when you're drawing characters for a book, you might find that circle shapes for a character are going to make a character look more friendly, and triangular shapes are going to make a character look more nasty. And solid, blocky shapes in here are going to make a character look strong.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a character who is maybe the best friend of the circle character. They're like your Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings, who's carrying Frodo around. Or sometimes it might be the big head honcho goon of a nasty character. So it could be the head henchman of a villain. So these shapes are really important and really useful.
I'd never really thought about it like that before, James, but it's really, really interesting. And, I know you've got a few examples for us as well of how you've applied these shapes to characters, because just in a moment, Littlescribers, you're going to have a turn at picking one of the characters to create a character of your own. But I bet you'd like to see some of what James has created because his drawings are just fabulous. So let's have a look, James. What have you got there?
Before we do, I'm going to ask one more question.
Oh, okay.
Of everyone.
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, that's okay. That's totally fine. If you were going to design a dragon character, which one of these three categories of shape would you pick? Okay. Would you pick triangle? Would you pick square? Or would you pick circle? There's no wrong answers to this because you can do it either way. But what would you choose?
I guess it's how you want your character. Yeah.
It's how you want your dragon to come across. Someone has said egg again. I just want
so we're going to have an egg dinosaur.
An egg dragon. It's still in the egg. Okay. We've got a couple of people saying circle, a couple of people saying triangles, a couple of people saying squares.
Oh.
It can work either way, everyone. You're totally right. Let me show you some that I prepared earlier.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Here we go. Here is your classic sort of dragon. Okay. They are mostly made of more angular shapes, more sort of pointy triangular shapes. So pointy shapes like triangles can be used for teeth, for horns, for sharp wings, for spikes down the back. And I guess deep within like the most primitive lizard parts of our brains, we know that pointy sharp things can hurt us. The point of a spear, a sharp stick, a sharp rock, the fangs of a predator. So we know that these are sort of more nasty shapes. But you could make a dragon out of more blocky, square, solid shapes too. You could get something more like this, okay? It changes the personality of the character so much. This more solid, heavy, low to the ground looking character with some stubby wings, okay? And then if you used circular shapes, which we know that things that are more circular like this, more rounded, more smooth, these are very hard to hurt us. And smooth, rounded shapes are like the shapes of babies, you know, as well. So it's nice little round, smooth, non-threatening shape. So a dragon made out of round shapes would look very different again, okay? What colours do you think these should be?
Ooh.
I would like to actually ask another little quiz question of everyone. What colour would you think this pointy dragon would be? Write it down in the chat because I would like to see what you say. I've got one I prepared earlier and I want to see if it lines up, okay? The first three answers that have come through are all the same.
Oh.
Everyone is saying red.
Oh. This is for the spiky one.
Do you want to see what I've already prepared? Check this out. This is my dragon.
Ah, it's
This
red.
is the one that I already prepared, okay? Now, here's the dude who's more blocky. What colour do you reckon he would be? What do you think? What do you think? Let me see what's coming up in the chat, and then I'll show you what I prepared earlier. We'll see if it compares, okay? Because quite often people come up with the same stuff. Okay, now people are saying brown, green, blue. These are some of the answers that come through so far.
I pictured green when
Orange,
I saw it.
purple, green, blue, orange, lots of different things. Okay, let's see what I had prepared. Here we go.
Ah, look at that, green and blue.
That's interesting. All right, cool. And then finally, this one here, the more rounded one, the more friendly looking one. What colours do you think that would be? What would suit that character really well? Let's see what people come up with, Chris. Let's see what they're thinking.
I've got a picture in my head. I wonder. And I haven't seen James's, so I don't know what he's got
this is
either.
all, this is not planned ahead. Okay, we've got some things coming through. Blue, yellow, pink, purple, yellow, blue, blue, orange, pink, purple, blue, yellow, yellow and pink, blue, yellow. Okay, let's see what I'd prepared earlier. How did you all know which colours I was going to choose?
It's like magic, isn't it?
But this is how like character design works. We know that certain colours mean certain things. So characters who are more red and nasty looking, these are characters who we associate with danger. Yeah, we know that red is kind of a more dangerous colour, at least in Western culture. In some other cultures, like in Chinese, it's a very lucky colour. It's a very good colour. But in a lot of our Western stories, red characters are more dangerous. Whereas this sort of green character, this green colour is looking a little more peaceful, a little more stable and solid. And I don't know, they look like they would live somewhere else, don't they, Chris? Like this guy looks like he lives somewhere really hot and dangerous.
Yeah.
But this guy looks like he lives somewhere like, I don't know, a pond or a swamp or a marsh or something.
Yeah, and he looks, like he'd be sort of hidden in amongst the overgrowth and maybe just stick his nose out occasionally to say hi.
Exactly, yeah. Whereas this character, these are very sunny, happy colours. And these two colours are also the same colours as that character Joy in Inside Out, which some of you may have seen. So they're just very happy, sunny, joyous colours that we associate with joy. So seeing those three characters together made of different shapes with different colours, they give very different personalities off, just on the first look that we do judge books by their cover and characters by
Yeah.
their cover, don't we?
Yeah. So James, I reckon we should get our little scribers doing a bit of drawing
Let's do
based
it.
on what they have just learned. Now, if you have colours with you, you can use some colours. If you don't have the colours with you, you could colour it in later. That's totally fine.
Yes.
But what would you like our little scribers to do? Are we doing dinosaurs? Are we doing something a bit different?
We're going to write a little sequel to Stellafant. So if you haven't read it, this is my picture book about an elephant who wants to go to space. But we're going to talk about what would happen if Stella went on an underwater journey instead. So what sort of characters would she come across? We're going to design some fish to start with. What are some fish that she could come across? And we're going to use those 3 categories of shape to design our fish. Just quickly though, let's talk about some of the features that fish need to have. Okay, generally fish have got a body. I'll just draw like a really generic one, yeah? They have a tail at the back, there's gills, there's going to be eyes, there's going to be some sort of mouth, there's a top fin, there's maybe a bottom fin, there's some little fins here so they can steer. These are the different things that a fish usually has. But you know, some fish have got different things. Some have got spikes on their noses, some have got sharp teeth. You can add different things if you need.
Based on the shape, that gives the feeling of the character that you're going to create. So little
Exactly
scribers,
right.
you've got a few minutes now. We'd love to see what you create. So let's see some amazing fish. Now I want you to deliberately make a choice about what your fish is going to be like. Is it a fish that's a bit scary? And if so, will you be basing it on the triangles? Is it a really friendly fish that you will use lots of wonderful round shapes? Or is it that really solid, friendly, sturdy fish that's a bit more blocky and a bit more trustworthy perhaps and reliable? Or a little bit just serious and heavy and drops to the bottom a lot? And think about your colours, if you do have colours with you as well. So we'd love you to draw them on your paper, or if you've got whiteboards, you could draw your shapes, because in just a moment, we're going to have a look at a few that you've created as well to see what sort of fish characters you've created as we start to build our sequel to Stellafant Underwater. Wonder what they're going to create. I can see James is already hard at work creating a few ideas there too. And we'll see what else they can come up with.
One thing I would add too, Chris, is that you don't have to just completely use one category of shape, okay? So even with this that's mostly pointy shapes, I've still used some curves for the body of the fish. So you can combine a little bit, just as long as your character is mostly from one of these categories of shape, then it's going to work out pretty well. So there's one who's got lots of pointy bits, and I don't know, maybe I'll try a circular one next. We'll see how we go.
Yeah. And I like the way that you use those shapes to really make the feature of the fish as well. So it's sort of, so you could have a whole bunch of fish that look very similar with just little bits that are different.
For sure, you totally
I
could.
wonder what everyone's coming up with. It's very exciting. I bet we've got some amazing drawing out there. Oh, I like that fish that James is creating. I think that's my favourite.
Trying to have a really goofy goldfish.
Maybe he needs glasses.
He could have glasses.
He could have glasses because he swims around and around, and you know how goldfish go round and round and round? So he can't see what he's seeing. He has to keep coming back for another look.
I like it.
Yeah. He's cute. I
Maybe
like
one
him.
who's more blocky.
All right, you've got about 30 seconds, little scribers, then we're going to have a look at what you've created. I'm very excited to see it as well. Won't be long now. So, oh, blocky fish. I wonder how many people created a blocky fish. I think we're going to get lots of spiky fish.
Maybe a blocky fish, if it's blowing bubbles, the bubbles could even be blocks too.
Oh, that would be cool.
It's like a fish who's in Minecraft or something.
Yep. I love it. Brilliant. Well, I love James's, but I think it's time to have a look at what some of our little scribers have created. What do you
Let's
think?
do it. Let's do it. Let's see what
All
they've done.
right. Yep. I bet we've got some amazing drawings out there. So everybody hold up your drawings to the camera. You need to hold them nice and still for us so we can see what you've created. Oh, look at that big, long, lean fish with a spiky tail. I like that
nice.
one.
And grumpy little eyes.
That's from the Italian bilingual school. That's fabulous. Oh,
Oh,
a
it's
friendly-
a cute little fish. It looks like a guinea pig fish. I love it.
oh my gosh, look at those nice. Oh, we've got some jellyfish.
Lots of curvy lines too. They look so friendly, don't they? Oh, an anglerfish. Love it. Yeah, because you can totally just base it on a real fish if you know that that's got some really lovely shapes and qualities about it. Look at the fangs on that one up there. My goodness, like
And
a
some
vampire fish.
Great use of colour too. Oh, a nice round. I think that one's a friendly fish.
Love
I like
it.
that
Thank you,
one.
Casino West. Oh, it's so adorable. And the pattern of the scales there too. Lovely. That's from Year 6's at MCCC. Oh, it's a silly fish.
Silly fish.
Love it. It looks like a cob of corn.
Does it look a bit like...
I love it.
Oh, I like that one with the big droopy teeth. He looks a bit silly.
And lovely patterns.
And great use of colour in some of these as well. I love it. I know it's tricky if you've only got your black textures, but you can always colour them in later. Look at those spider webby lines on that one.
Love it. These are amazing. That one's got a hat.
That's really cool.
They were brilliant,
I love
everybody.
it.
That was incredible.
Okay, so James, we have some great fish.
Yes.
We have some really fabulous ways of thinking about building our characters through shapes, which honestly is something I've not really thought a lot about before, and colour. So what are we going to do next? We talked about creating a sequel to Stellafant. Should we see maybe what Stellafant would see down deep in the ocean?
Let's do a brainstorm.
Yep.
Let's have an idea of, what sort of things could Stellafant discover. You could be thinking about, how deep is she going in the ocean? Is it just as deep as a coral reef, so there's still light getting there? Or is she going right to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, down to the Challenger Deep, which is like 10 or 11 kilometres down, and it's pitch black?
Okay, so like our survey,
Yeah.
teachers will get you to add some of these ideas that your students are brainstorming into the chat. And kids, I'd love it if you could write some of your words down as well, if you have the words that you could write for us. Maybe you can make a list on your whiteboard next to your fish that you've created, and also tell your teacher, and your teachers can pop some in the chat, because James is going to create our own brainstorm based on a lot of the words that you are sharing with us, and a few I'm no doubt that he will come up with on his own, because he's very clever now that he's paying attention to the workshop.
There's some great ones coming through already. Someone said very specifically, a 200 kilogram bluefin tuna. That was 6A at Illawarra Primary. Thank you.
good.
Another good one here, it's shipwreck.
Oh,
That's a
good
great
word.
one. Shipwrecks are always very evocative and mysterious.
They
A turtle, a
Turtles
coral
are my
reef.
favourite.
They're beautiful, aren't they? Did you like the one in Finding Nemo?
I did. Dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Megalodon, a giant prehistoric shark. Love it.
Yep.
Someone here said just very deep.
Yeah.
So she could be right down at a dark part of the ocean in the midnight zone or the abyssal zone. Okay, seahorse, Titanic, a striped tiger. There's a tiger down there?
That's cool.
Or maybe there was a tiger in the book who was one of the astronauts. Maybe he's scuba diving.
He could be. He could have a bubble on his head.
That could work. That could work.
That could work. What about some other things? What are some of the natural things we might see under the water? So we've got lots of great fish. We've got a lot of objects that have perhaps floated to the bottom. What else might we might see? I'm thinking of something that sways and weaves as the currents move. I always find it a bit creepy, like
It looks like it's alive. Seaweed and kelp.
seaweed and kelp, yeah.
Yeah.
You never know what's hiding in amongst the kelp and the seaweed either. Wonder what else we might see down there that is maybe something that's more natural. I know did we have coral already? Yes, we've got coral.
We've got coral. Seagrass is another one someone said. Seagrass just made me think, what about a manatee? I love manatees. They're so beautiful.
Yep.
Cuttlefish, crocodiles. Oh, and someone said plastic as well.
Oh.
They've actually found plastic at the Challenger Deep, the deepest part of the ocean. They found plastic there already. So yes,
My
plastics are a big problem in the oceans. What else? Dugongs. Yes, dugongs as well. Is it the same as a manatee, or are they slightly different? I'm not sure.
I think they're a little bit different. So James, we've got some really great words here, and I think we're going to get our little scribers just to start having a think about it as well. But with all these words, do you think you might be able to start a drawing with these words of what that scene might look like?
I could give it a go. I'd like to see what everyone else comes up with too.
So why don't we just draw a few of these little things. We're going to do a full scene in a moment, but this one, we're just starting to incorporate just a few of these shapes, a few of these other things that we were just brainstorming. So we'll have a bit of a think about those. So you might want to include, so if you get drawing some objects, so we're not creating the whole scene yet, we're just creating some objects, or you could keep making a list of words to reference later, it's up to you. So we might want to draw some wavy seaweed on your page, or you might like to draw a turtle or a megalodon, or a very, very large bluefish tuna. So you've just got a very quick minute to just draw a couple of these shapes and see what we can come up with, and then we're going to keep building this scene next with a little bit of writing as well.
One important thing for people to think about here too is, are they going to include Stella's submarine? And if so, what shape is it going to be? Because just like with the fish, even objects and vehicles like submarines will have a different personality depending on what shapes you make them of. So I want her vehicle to be a nice, rounded, friendly-looking shape. I don't want it to look like some supervillain's submarine, you know, which would be all pointy and vicious looking. So I want it to have some functional things too, like some little arms to get samples and to manipulate things around the environment, because maybe it's very, very high pressure down here. Maybe they can't actually get out themselves. And then I've got to draw Stella too. And if you haven't drawn Stella before, you can just draw an elephant. But she's going to be down here with her trunk. And maybe she's amazed because she's spotted something. I don't know what it is yet because I haven't drawn her. And maybe we're going to write some things about what she spots.
I think that's a really great idea. Yeah.
So I'll leave a bit of room in here. Maybe I can show some little controls and things here that she can manipulate with her trunk. Maybe there's another arm over here. And maybe I'm going to put just some rough, rocky ground down here. Maybe we can have some of that kelp. I like drawing kelp because it's very simple and easy and it takes up a lot of space.
Nice and squiggly.
and leaves a lot of sort of atmosphere and stuff in there. Maybe there's some coral here or maybe not. Maybe in the distance there is, maybe there's a bit of shipwreck here, but maybe that's not what Stella is seeing. Maybe it's a whale fall, which is a whale carcass that's fallen down.
So it's just the ribs and the skeleton.
It provides a big ecosystem for lots of small little creatures down here.
So James, I reckon everyone out there has some really fabulous words and little scattered pictures of things they're going to see. We're not going to zoom around this time because I want to get everybody writing, and then we're going to build all of those things together into a big scene, kind of what you've seen James starting to do there, and we're going to keep building on that through the next bit. But before we do any more of the pictures, I think we need to add a few words, James. So whether you want to do it on this page or maybe you want a fresh page, we're going to give you a little starting of a sentence, and teachers, perhaps you could type these sentences into the chat for some kids, or if you want to have a go at filling the sentences out yourself. So we're going to use a sentence because we want to build a story for our sequel to Stella Fund. So we're going to use the sentence, Stella's submarine, then you're going to fill that in a word in the middle there, on the ocean floor. Stella's submarine, something on the ocean floor. I wonder what word you could think of to pop in there.
I was thinking in the way that it lands, you know. Does it settle gently on the ocean floor? Does it crash land on the ocean floor? Does it zoom towards the ocean floor? Does it struggle to get to the ocean floor?
Does it float?
Does it float? Does it creak moodily
creak.
as it gets there?
I love creak. It's my favourite word. Stella's submarine, something on the ocean floor. I wonder what you're going to come up with, and we'd love to see some of your writing in the chat as well. And then there's another sentence that could follow that one, James.
Yes.
When the dust settled, she was something to see something. So I wonder, using that bank of words and pictures that we just created about all of those things on the ocean floor, I wonder, was Stella Fant surprised to see something? Was she scared to see something? I wonder what it was. So Stella's submarine, something on the ocean floor. When the dust settled, she was something to see something.
A lot of
I can't wait to see what everybody comes up with. I
Yeah.
bet there's some fantastic things. So teachers, pop some of those sentences in the chat for us because we're trying to build this fabulous book. I wonder what Stella Fant is going to see. And if you want, you could draw a picture again. You could write a sentence on your paper or your whiteboard, or even a whole paragraph if you want to keep going. That's entirely up to you. Have we got anything coming through yet, James?
Let's have a look. I was adding a couple of examples myself. Settled, crashed, landed, cruised. But we've got, oh, this is good. Stella submarine skidded, scraped, and screeched on the ocean floor.
Oh, brilliant. I like that.
And because they're great sound effects then too,
Yeah.
you know? Which is like what Jackie was saying earlier. We don't waste words. We use the best ones we can. And some good ones for Stella as well. She was startled. She was excited. She was frightened.
Yep. These are fantastic feeling words. I love them.
Oh, another one for the vehicle. Collapsed on the ocean floor.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
That sets
love
the
it.
scene for a good drama, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, malfunctioned.
Oh, poor Stella.
And just simply went boom.
That works too. I love it.
Stella submarine went boom on the ocean floor. Okay, surprised is another one.
Yep.
Shocked.
What fantastic words.
And some people are already going ahead and saying, what did she notice?
Yeah.
Some people have said giant squid.
Oh.
Someone just said an enormous eye.
Oh. Oh, that's scary. Hidden in the kelp.
Yeah, like what would that belong to?
Oh.
Stella's submarine zoomed on the ocean floor. When the dust settled, she was afraid to see a massive bloop. That's from Casino West. I don't know what the bloop is, but maybe it's some strange undiscovered sea creature called a bloop.
Wow. I wonder if the bloop is friendly. I wonder what shape that casino will draw the bloop so we know immediately whether it's a friendly bloop or a scary bloop.
Yeah.
Or a solid bloop.
It feels like it will belong to one of those three categories just by the way it sounds, way it's described. A bloop.
It could be unexpected. So bloop to me sounds kind of a bit friendly, but if it was a spiky bloop, that might be a hidden, not so friendly bloop after all. So we have some amazing sentences. They are phenomenal, everybody. Well done. And you can keep working on these sentences as well. But I think what we want to do, and so we don't run out of time, we want everyone to start creating their actual scene from our new Stella Fun book.
Yes.
Now, James, you started creating a scene. Are you going to build on that one or are you going to create something new now?
I think...
What do you think?
I don't know. I do have some space here, so I could do it from this. But what I would like to do is just show everyone how I would start from scratch.
Yeah.
If I wasn't doing it this way, I would actually do some little tiny rough drawings first. So let me get another piece of paper. I would actually start with just some little rough outlines. And I would probably think about what I wanted Stella to see. Actually, one thing that could work too, Chris, I just thought of this. We could actually do this for the first part of the sentence. She was shocked to see, and then we could turn the page and have another illustration revealing what that is.
What a brilliant
idea. Which would be really
idea.
handy. So in that case, let me just think about what it might be that she sees. What about, I like the enormous eye.
All right, let's do the eye.
So what if it's an enormous eye? In that case, okay.
And while James is doing this one, you all have a think about what you would like Stella Fun to see in the scene that you are going to create in a moment. But just have a look at how James creates this. It's a wonderful process.
So if it was just me, I would start with some very small versions of my page, and I would start with some really tiny sketches. I mean, how big do I want the eye to be? Also, when I'm working on a book, I'm working across two open pages usually. And so usually I have to think about where the fold is going to go in the middle of those two pages. That fold is called the gutter. And you can't have anything too important right in the middle of the gutter, because when the book gets made, you lose about 3 millimeters of your illustration. And so if Stella's face was in the middle of the gutter, then it would get all squished when the book was made. So I might just throw my pen cap across the room, and then I might think about, if there's this enormous eye, what if the enormous eye is taking up like one whole half of the page?
Oh my goodness.
And then we could maybe see the edge of whatever creature it is, and then we could see Stella's little submarine here in line with it. That could be interesting. It could have just a little rough version of what the submarine is. That's
like
one way.
The relative sizes there between the little...
Yeah.
Like we know the submarine's going to be quite big because Stella's an elephant. So imagine how big that eye is. Like that immediately goes, whoa.
And it gives us a bit of space for the words to go up here too. Or you could do it from Stella's point of view inside the thing. You could have Stella here, her ears. The only problem with this is that maybe we don't get to see her expression so well. But you could maybe show her face from the side. You could show the display of her submarine and her controls and everything down here. And then you could have the giant eye outside the window looking in like that.
Wow.
That's another way you could do it. And then you could have the words up here.
Yep.
Another way you could do it is you could you could maybe have the top of the creature, whatever it is, and its giant eyeball here, and you're looking sort of down across the top of the creature, and then you can see Stella's submarine here, and then you could have some words here. But I think that's looking a little, it's a bit hard to tell what it is. I think it's a bit clearer in this view that it's an eyeball rather than this, I think. But you know, this is what happens.
That could add to the mystery as well.
That's true. You try options and you see what's going on. I can't think of a fourth one. I think
those 3 examples are great though to start with.
I think this one is giving me the most drama.
Yep. No, I agree.
As long as we can make it big enough so we can still see Stella's reaction. I mean, we did get a bit of her reaction in the earlier picture, but I think this one's going to work really well.
Yeah. So we want to be thinking about, as James is saying, how the words are going to fit on your page. You want to have a think about what is Stella looking at, because you wanted to make it interesting. So think about the sentences that you wrote. How did the submarine land? Did it crash? Did it go boom? Did it float down? Maybe the submarine is broken and you can see that she's kind of stuck there in the rocks. So you've got to think about that first, then think about how is she feeling and what has she seen. Now your choices are to use one of those examples that James has shown you in those thumbnails. You could use the big eye, or you could choose one of the other things that we worked on earlier, one of the pictures or words that you wrote in our big brainstorm. Whatever you like is absolutely fine. And remember, way back to the start of this session when James talked to you about shapes and colours and what they might imply about the character that we're seeing. And keep thinking as well about that hidden element. What is so important about that, James, as our little scribers get drawing? So this time, everybody, you're creating a scene. We've got Stellafant has landed somehow in the submarine. Stella has seen something, and it might be scary or it might be nice. That's entirely up to you. Or you could use, as James did, and remember to have a space for your words on the page. And you could add those sentences that we worked on a moment ago onto your page and create an entire scene. Now you've got quite a few minutes to do this. So if you start working on that, I'm going to get James to give you a few other tips about what he thinks about when he's creating these pages. And one of the most important things, I think, James, is that you want your readers to turn the page. So you talked a bit about the fold in the middle. What are some of the other tricks that you use to keep kids or keep people reading?
Well, you've got to give them a reason to turn the page, just like you said, Chris. And so that's kind of what we've got here. Stella's submarine whooshed along the ocean floor. When the dust settled, she was shocked to see. And we know that we're going to turn the page and then reveal this enormous eye. So that's going to be great. And then even that is going to give the reader another reason to turn. They're going to go, well, who does this eye belong to? What is it? What creature is it? Is it just an eyeball floating around on its own? Is it connected to a scary creature? Is it friendly? Is it going to be nasty? We don't know.
That's amazing. So just remember, everyone, you need to be drawing your scenes now using all of the elements. You could even, the fish you created earlier, maybe that's what Stellafant sees. Is that, or Stella sees, is Stella a friend of this fish? Did it come to find her to help her? Or is it a scary fish? Is that what she sees that makes her a bit scary? Or is it something completely different? Maybe the fish comes into another part of the story, but you have lots of elements now that you can create that brand new scene for Stella's journey underwater. And we're going to zoom around in about a minute or so and have a look at what you've been drawing and what you've been creating. And as you're drawing, if you want to keep glancing up, James is continuing to work on the scene that he's creating as well, which you're welcome to be inspired by too. I wonder if it's just a floating eyeball or whether the eyeball's attached to another creature.
Don't know. Another thing we could do with those fish ideas we had before, we could just make them little background characters. They could just be tootling around. They could be as shocked as Stella is. Or maybe they're just going, oh yeah, this is a normal Tuesday for us. That's just giant eyeball. That's just
giant eyeball floating around
up,
in the ocean. There are lots of great things that you can include in the background to your scenes as well. Remember, we had everything from shipwrecks and anchors. I think there'd be a lot of anchors in the bottom.
True, yeah.
Whale bones always look very dramatic on the bottom. And my favourite, the seaweed and the kelp that waves and round. And I reckon lots of fish hide in amongst it. Lots of amazing things. So about 30 seconds, and we're going to have a bit of a look around, everybody. And make sure when you hold your pictures up, we really want to have a good look at them, so hold them nice and still. So you've got about 30 seconds more of drawing, but just remember, this is just a start. If you haven't had time to add all your words to the page, that's okay. You can keep working on that later. But we're really keen to see what you've created. And it might be that your whole page is just pictures and you just want to add a couple of words, and that's okay as well. So in about 10 seconds, so first we'll have a quick look at what James has created, then we're going to come and have a look at what you've done. So James, what have you done here?
So I thought, rather than saying she was shocked to see a giant eyeball, which, I mean, we're going to be able to see that from the illustrations. Maybe we don't need to maybe just repeat that. What if we said she was shocked to see she was being watched?
Oh, that's fantastic.
And so in that way, the illustrations tell the rest of that. We can see there is an enormous eyeball. Yep. We don't have to just say it, we can show it in our illustration. And this gives us a great idea of the scale of Stella compared to this enormous creature, whatever it is.
Yeah. I'd certainly be reading on to find out what that eyeball was. I wonder if it's friendly or not.
Oh, it's got a lot of curves on it so far, you know. So if it is going to be nasty, I'm not sure. But you could also make it look nasty by giving it a big grumpy eyebrow if you wanted to. Maybe it's a bit fierce because maybe it's a friendly creature who's been pushed too hard. Maybe they've discovered a lot of plastic getting into their environment and they're like, oh, who are you?
Could it have red veiny veins in its eyes? Red veins? That would make it look a bit scary and cranky too, wouldn't it?
A bit grumpier, yeah. Maybe it's allergic to microplastics.
Maybe. Look at that. See how immediately that changes it, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, eyebrows are a big important thing.
All right, little scribers, I wonder what you've created. We're going to have a bit of a look around now. And James, if you keep an eye on the chat, we might have some new sentences we can add as well to intersperse. But I'm really keen to see some of these amazing drawings. Let's see what we've got. Look at, is everyone ready? Oh, I know we got you a lot. Oh, there's a whole scene.
Oh, look, it's a cutaway of the submarine, so we can see inside. I love a good cutaway diagram. And are they some nets? Are there nets there?
They look like nets, don't they?
Yeah.
Things that could be caught in the nets.
There's a turtle who looks like he's escaping from a net. Maybe Stella released the turtle from the net.
And we've got some red and orange fish. Oh, that is one scary fish.
Whoa, look at the face on that guy.
And look at these fantastic eyeballs as well. I wonder what your eyeballs are going to be like. I wonder if they're going to be friendly ones for Stella or not.
In this one, we've got a scary shark, a shipwreck. I can see a little starfish, sorry, a sea star there as well. I can see Stella up above in a cutaway inside her submarine. Oh, look at these jagged, wobbly arms coming off with actual like hands, gloved hands coming off her submarine.
I think the thumb's over a bit of that writing, but I can see Stella's submarine collapsed in that one.
Oh, a big anglerfish. And there's a big derpy looking fish, like almost like a dinosaur head. Lots of teeth and a big smile there. I love that one.
And it's kind of got that blocky feel to it, doesn't it?
Look at this octopus. Oh, is it a squid? It's got the head of a squid there. And Stella is scuba diving and saying hello. Oh.
And remember, everyone, you've got these amazing drawings. Like, they're just phenomenal. Remember, you can add words to those after the session today. So work on your sentences and see how you can fit the words on the page as well. The giant eye. Look at that one. Well, that one's got eyelashes. That's scary looking. Help, I am scared. A
human, eek.
Have we got any new sentences in the chat too, James?
One class just said, our class would like to know if you are left-handed. Yes, indeed, I am left-handed.
Fair enough.
But then other people, Casino West said, when the dust settled, she was surprised to see a giant squid or a magical mermaid. There's some good ideas.
Fantastic.
That's great.
So, James, we've created some amazing pictures. We've learned a lot about colours and shapes and what they can immediately do for our characters. But there are some other materials and tools that you use when you're creating your stories. We've just got a couple of minutes here where I'd love for you to share with everyone how you can really elevate and lift your pictures beyond just perhaps using some colour and shapes.
Some easy ways that I like to do things is just using coloured paper. It's a lot nicer sometimes than using textures because you can get these lovely solid blocks of colour. And you don't even have to use scissors and glue. I mean, you can do that sometimes, but sometimes you can just rip the colours and you can get these wonderful organic textures. Even that looks like, you know, different surfaces of the ocean floor, yeah? So I bought some of these at a newsagent last night and did some ripping and tearing away, and then I made a little picture. And I didn't even put any detail in these, but they kind of look like schools of fish, don't they? So sometimes you can get away with stuff even without putting in a lot of detail. I did use some scissors for some of these more detailed parts that would be too hard to rip, but otherwise that can give you a nice effect. And then even if you've got some drawings that you had on paper before, you could cut those out and put them onto a coloured paper background like this one. That could work really well.
Layering all of that work, it would just look fantastic. And remember, when you're creating these collages as well with this amazing mixed media, think about your space for your text and your sentences too. And as James was saying, how it might flow over the pages. James, can you believe we're almost out of time?
Oh, I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. Do you want to just take us back over quickly what we went through today from the beginning until now?
I can indeed.
I know you've got a lot of paper there. I've kept you busy today.
Oh no, it's tough. When you're also the author and the scriber, it can be a lot of paper. But this is me. That's an elephant. We've got some dragons. We were talking about shapes of characters and how there's three main categories of shape, and here they are. These three different categories give us different feels about characters. Just generally, this is going to look more dangerous, and this is going to look more friendly, and this can look more strong, stable. It could go to an evil character, or it could be a little bit of a nice character too. We were designing some fish who could go into the background of an underwater scene. And we looked at Stelliphant and what might happen and what she might see if she went under the water. We did some brainstorming about some words we could use to describe Stella's submarine and what she feels and what she sees. We did some kind of scene setting here in our illustrations. Did some thumbnail sketches. This is when we draw tiny little sketches that are, not always as big as our thumbnail, but they're just scrappy little roughs. And then we tried to do a nice little scene here too. I showed you a bit of cut paper. Do we have time to do one quick little reveal here?
Yes.
30 seconds?
You have 30 seconds.
All right, awesome. This is another way you can do it. You can use crayon and you can use watercolour. Here's one I prepared earlier. You put the crayon on underneath, but let's get some dark blue and put it on here.
Wow.
And let's see what happens when we smudge it together with our crayon. What happens is it doesn't soak up the colour. It lets it sit, and so your crayon can reveal hidden shapes with your watercolours. And then you could again, put some stuff on top of it. Put your characters on top. This is a lovely effect for doing underwater scenes.
I love that, James. Thanks so much for sharing that. I think I'll be having a go at that one myself. That looks fairly fun and therapeutic.
No worries.
I adore it. Well, wow, what a fabulous and inspiring workshop, James. But just remember, the fun doesn't stop here. You can continue to work on what we did today. Teachers, there are loads of resources on the Littlescribe platform to allow your kids to build on what they've done today and perhaps share the writing from here. And we'd love to see you keep working on this work. Jump on the platform, have a look at the resources. Maybe you'd even like to create a collaborative book with what the students have put together today. A page from each student, and they'll all be authors, just like James and I.
Exactly right.
Which would be fantastic. So up next, we have the wonderful Joel McKerrow with some slam poetry with a bit of an environmental twist. But James, thank you so much for today.
Thanks so much, Chris. Thanks for keeping me on track, making sure I was paying attention.
Oh, I had a wonderful time. We have a bit of fun. James and I are good friends, so we can have a bit of fun. And I loved all the drawing. Thank you so much, Little Scribers. It was great to see you all. It was wonderful to join us today. Happy scribing.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.
Now, just before we sign off completely, let's have one last scribe around the country. One last Zoom around the country, even. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Look at all those happy, smiling faces. We can't wait to see what you create. Hello, everyone. Bye. Have a wonderful day. St Clair's Catholic School, Casino West.
Cooper Nook is holding up something there.
It's been great to see you all. Lots of happy, smiling faces. Keep writing, keep drawing. Thanks so much again for everyone for joining us. Happy scribing. Have a wonderful rest of your day.